Welcome to Ancient News. We have an exclusive interview with Echo and Odysseus.
Hello, today I'll be interviewing Echo. I've had special thanks to Hera for lifting the curse of Echo for this special interview.
Interview.
Okay, Echo, how did you get your curse?
Oh, well, this was because when I was a nymph, I loved to talk. Let me tell you, I think I talked a bit too much. I just went on and on and on. And then Hera came down to Earth. She was talking with Artemis. And they were having this conversation about important stuff. And I wanted to impress Hera and Artemis. So I started talking. And I kept talking and talking and talking. And then Hera, you know her, she got so mad at me. And then she cursed me. And then they kept talking, but I tried to talk. And then no words came out of my mouth. And I'm like, I can only echo what people say.
As a nymph, what did you like? What things did you like to do as nymphs?
You know, regular nymph stuff. I like talking, of course. That's how I get cursed. I also liked male nymphs. And I liked falling in love with nymphs, like male nymphs. And there were lots of hunters hunting in the forest, and us nymphs would sneak up on them and then chase after them. But there was one hunter who every single nymph ran after. But I couldn't, because I was cursed.
What was that hunter's name?
Oh, you know him, Narcissus. He was running around in the woods, and he was hunting deer and elks, and he stopped by the river to take a drink. Every single nymph hid behind a tree, and we were watching him. Hours passed. He kept staring at the lake, so all the nymphs went away. He looked in the lake, and he said, "I love you," and then I repeated, "I love you," but he was saying it to himself. And what happened after that was that he stood there, just staring at his reflection, because he only loved himself. And then he turned into the daffodil, which was not as beautiful as Narcissus, but still a really pretty flower. And I could only repeat everything that he said and that everyone else said, but I think he's better as a flower.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Why don't we move on to Odysseus now? Thank you.
Hello, now I'm going to interview the famous hero, Odysseus. So, Odysseus, I hear that you somehow managed to survive a one-eyed cyclops or a giant.
Well, yes. So, me and my crew, after the long Trojan War, blah, 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 so we were going past this island with this big giant who lived in a cave, and the god of sea, son of the sea, and so I took my best wine on the ship and brought it up to the giant, and we offered the giant some wine. In return, he didn't take the wine. He took 2 of my men. And he kept on doing that for days and days and days. And then finally, me and my men cut off part of his staff. And we were planning on stabbing his eye with the staff once we had sharpened it. And one night, when he had taken out all his cattle and sheep, we stayed in the tavern, waiting for him to come back. And then we offered him the wine, and this time he took it. after eating 2 more men. And when he did this, he drank so much wine that you probably all know what happened. And he just fell on the ground and closed his one giant eye. And so when he awaked, we were all ready with the giant spear-like thing. And at that time, we just stabbed him like a 6-foot-long giant spear. And before that, I had tied all the men under his sheep and cattle, and they were just regular sheep. And so that was our escape. So he was blinded, but he still tended to his cattle. So the day he let us all out, we just, as I said, tied ourselves all to the sheep and cattle, and we went out. He almost touched me, and if he did, I probably would have been dead. And once we were clear, he couldn't see us because he was blind, so we just bolted down the hill. We got on our ship, and we ran, but he realized that we were gone, and so, because we stole all his sheep and all that, and by that time, I just couldn't hold myself. I just had to say something mean to him, and he just threw boulders and boulders, and all my men were startled, saying, "Stop saying this, he's going to kill us all." And eventually, he almost did, but we got away. But he cursed us, because he was the son of Poseidon, so he could have said to his dad, "Curse these men for doing this," and for sure they did. And we got away from the island, and then we went back to the island, a different island that all the other boats were on. And then we went to Apollo's island. No, not Apollo's. All these guys confusing. We went to the god of wind, and we asked him to just give us smooth wind. And so he gave me this pouch that contained all the winds. And my men wanted to know what was in it. So I hid it somewhere in the boat where they could never find it. And when I was asleep one day, they took it and opened it. And we were this close from being back home. And then they opened it, and we flew right back to his island. And by that time, he knew of the curse.
Yes, that sounds very frightening. Was it frightening for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was truly an honor speaking to you. A great hero.
Okay, feedback.